Good day. Welcome back to 340 Caribbean Culture. I'm doing some pan roasted chicken, and what I'm gonna do is season it up today, and then tomorrow I'm gonna go ahead and cook it tomorrow morning early. But I had one of these when I was younger, and it's an amazing sharpener. I got this from Marcia maybe a year ago or almost two, and I use it ever so often to sharpen my knives. I have several different types of sharpeners, and this one actually is my favorite, and I use it quite often. I usually run it through at least 8 times. Yep, at least 8 times every time I sharpen it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put this in the sink. Go ahead and just cut this apart. I usually use Cornish hens when I'm making my my Peruvian chicken, which is an amazing thing. When you guys get a chance, go and take a look at my videos that I have posted. I do have Peruvian chicken on one of my videos. Let's see. Yeah, it's not bad. Need a little more sharpening, but not bad. I'm gonna wash the chickens anyway. Wash my hands, and I'm gonna give this a quick pause. I got some bleach water here as usual. Alright, make sure there's cold water coming. So I use some hot water to clean up. Run some cold water in there. I'm gonna go ahead and put my vinegar. For all you folks that don't wash your chicken, hey, more power to you. But I guarantee you, you can find, I would say, basically 93%, or if not 100% of Caribbean households, they're gonna wash their chicken. Okay, they're gonna wash all their meat. Even sometimes depends on, if you think the chicken or whatever meat is kind of old. 9 out of 10, they'll probably let it soak in the vinegar for a little bit. You want to get all of the rawness smell out of your chicken, because sometimes they have a little funky smell when you get them from the store. Wash my hand. Here's a little bleach water right here, so I can grab the jug. And give it a second wash. Cornish hens is the only chicken that I actually see when you buy it from the store. It doesn't contain a shitload of feathers or a ton load of feathers. I'm not gonna cut off the fat, because how I'm be cooking it, I need the fat that kind of help it stay moist. Okay, by the time I'm finished, all the fat that's gonna be on it is gonna be rendered. Alright, because this was in the sink, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna spread this out, cut back on some of the stuff, at least that gets on the counter. Even I'm gonna wash the counter, but hey, put a little bleach on my hand. Got one more to go. Alright, in a commercial setting, you really want to wash your hands for about 20 seconds just to appease the folk. Sometimes you don't sit there and count, especially when you're cooking at home, but I tried my best to get as close as possible. Alright, the first thing I usually do is go in with my salt and my pepper. Okay, go in with my seasoned salt. You choose whatever seasoned salt that you deem fit, your favorite seasoning. Honestly, I don't have any particular favorites. I kind of flip-flop here and there. Okay, now that's the seasoned salt, and then I'm going to go with the black pepper. Okay, I'm not going to go in with any more than that, because mama going to start crying that it's a little spicy. Before I touch anything else, go ahead and clean the hands again. A lot of people just go grab the seasonings and this and that, and I wash my hands in between. That's my green seasoning. Now, my green seasoning has thyme in it, garlic, scallions, peppers, onions. Normally all the stuff that you would use, cilantro, parsley. I make several variations of it, and I sometimes will use shadow benny, and sometimes I use ginger, but it all depends on what I'm making. If I use shadow benny or ginger, what I normally would do is I'll make a smaller batch, because those flavors, especially the shadow benny, is very strong. Okay, so I kind of be mindful of what I do. Okay, now that was Worcestershire sauce, Liam Perrin, whatever you want to use. This is the I usually use a Liam Perrin, but this is the Publix brand. And I do love my Worcestershire sauce as much as I love my onion powder. Okay, I'm not even gonna hurt my head. The old lid does the same job. Okay, I have some garlic powder. Now I'm seasoning this up today, and I'm gonna cook it early in the morning. So you'll see the rest of the video tomorrow. This is onion powder. That was just garlic powder I put in the first one. You can tell when somebody else been messing with your seasonings, because they're not. I have a specific spot for everything. This is just some sazon goya. Now that green seasoning is very versatile. You can basically use it in anything. I have some Maggi. This is Maggi all-purpose, and this also has sodium in it, but it adds a hell of a flavor. And you really, when you add salt, you really and truly don't want to go in with a whole lot of it. You're going with little pinches at a time. I have some smoked paprika, but you know what? I'm gonna leave out the smoked paprika. You know what? I'm gonna put a tiny bit. Wifey don't really like the smoked one. That's about it. And let me put this back where it belongs. Give me 1 second while I rearrange. All right. So we went in with onion powder, garlic powder, a little bit of the smoked paprika. We also went in with some Goya, the green seasoning, and of course the Liam Perrin. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add a little bit of flavor rice. Nothing more than that, because I don't want my stuff to be over seasoned, especially because it's gonna be sitting overnight. And I'm gonna go in with my hands and I'm gonna get everything nice. You can add some olive oil to this. You can add whatever you want to it to help as a binder, but the liquid that's already in it, you know, from the Worcestershire sauce, to me that's good enough as a binder. To each his own, you know. I'm gonna rub this up pretty good, and then I'm gonna put it into another container, so that the seasoning can sit there and work into it. The more love that you give to your meats, the better your food will taste. The time you take with it, it pays off in the long run. Okay, I'm gonna get another bowl and I'm gonna put this in and stick it in the refrigerator. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna stack them. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pour all the marinade into the bowl. And over the time that it's marinated, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go in and just flip the chickens from time to time. The bottom ones will be on top, the top ones will be on the bottom. Alright, that's what it looks like. I'm gonna seal this bad boy up and stick it in the refrigerator till tomorrow. But like I said, from time to time I come back and I'll switch the positions of the chicken. Okay, see you tomorrow. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Putting some oil in the pan. We're not frying the chicken. This is just to kind of coat the bottom of the pan. Let that continue to heat up, and we get our chicken from yesterday. Nicely seasoned up. It smells good. It smells so good. Pan here heating up. Hey, she's getting there. Right. could have used a little less oil, but what's going to happen is the oil is going to sit there, it's going to reduce, and I'm going to wind up having to add some more in it anyway. So I'm going to let this go for a minute or two, and then it's just basically you constantly flipping it, cooking on both sides, okay? You don't want the pan too hot. You don't want it too, you just don't want the fire too high. And you don't want it too low. So you're just going to be like a constant balance. That's the only thing about doing the pan-seared chicken. you lose the skin. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and cover it down for a little bit. I turned it down and I covered it, okay? Alright, my battery died, but I'm still working it. Got it to spring its own juices. And we just basically letting it sit there and cook and brown up. Alright, we can just let it sit here and cook in its own juices. And all this liquid is going to evaporate. And what it's going to do is it's going to continue to just cook and cook and cook and brown up. And we're just going to keep flipping back and forth the more color we get. We'll take this, we're going back to start flipping again. Kind of difficult to do this one hand. He's getting there. You cover this back up and let her continue to cook. All you're doing is basically flipping back and forth. Just cooking through the chicken and browning it at the same time. So how you doing? This is what the older folks used to do back in the day. You know, if they didn't have an oven or whatever, you know, to roast out the chicken. You know, but most of the time it will be an outside thing. You know, you're cooking on a wood fire or with charcoal or something, you know. It's almost there. Now you can leave it just so, or you can go ahead and add some barbecue sauce. To each his own. I'm gonna add a little bit of sauce. I didn't bring home a tripod or anything, so kind of working one-handed, you know. So bear with her, brother. Alright, I'm gonna put this down for a second and I'll come back when I flip them over. Alright, y'all. This is what the chicken turned out looking like. It take roughly an hour on a low flame. You basically just, you know, just cooking it through and going from side to side and making sure it's fully cooked. Now, it's an hour, but an hour into the cook. But I'm using Cornish Hens. So Cornish Hens itself is not going to take a whole lot of time to cook, so that's why I kind of did that. That's why I kind of did this with the Cornish Hens. All right. I bagged it up and forgot to take my shots. Good day. Just finishing off the video. This style of cooking brings back a lot of memories from like Hurricane Hugo. At that time my mom was in Canada after the during the storm, and it was just basically me and my dad, and we went through a whole lot with the storm taking the roof off and some more. We had the stove on the inside because at that time everything, you know, ran off of propane, and at one time we ran out of propane. Usually we have 2 tanks that are filled, and but we ran out of propane, and it took a little bit for the guys to come and replenish the propane. So we had like those old style, like cast iron cooking things, cooking servers, like a cast iron oven, not stove. And I took it outside and I put some charcoal on it, and that's how I roasted my chicken. I seen my mom do it several times, and I did it. By the time my dad came back from work, because they were working long hours and stuff, and between me, we was out of school, so I would be up on the roof trying to patch the roof and stuff, and putting on tar and try to seal all the little cracks and try to get it situated, and this was my method of cooking for a little bit. I did some ribs this way until we got the propane. This is adaptive cooking. This is basically stuff that our ancestors used to do, cooking on the outside of the house, and some islands they still do it, and they prefer to use the charcoal stove, or better yet, the hardwood. But this was something that we had to do because of the Hurricane Marilyn that came through, and Hurricane Hugo. During Hurricane Marilyn, I had my grill and stuff, and that's what I did a lot of cooking. And at that time, it was busy, all the hours, because at that time I was doing contract security, and I was also doing, I had my own towing service and stuff. So I kept busy, but this is how we was cooking, and it's just stuff that we do, preparing for hurricanes and stuff like that. Always having canned goods on hand, stored up in a barrel. Right now is hurricane season. I have my gas stored. I already have my lighters. I got lights. I got propane. I got charcoal. I have several different ways. If I have to cook, I can cook. And I'm not gonna keep this any longer. But guys, share the channel, like the channel, tell a friend, tell your family members. Continue to come back. We're trying our best here to give you some good content. Just do this for us, man. Share the channel, tell a friend, hit the like, and if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything, and it'll alert you of when the next video posted. And until then, have a good one. Remember, I do post every Sunday and every Wednesday, but occasionally you might see a video pop up on a Friday, or you might see a video pop up on a Tuesday or Wednesday. Usually just like a little bonus video, but the main videos are posted on Wednesday and Sundays. All right, until then, love you. Have a good one.